Huge changes have enacted themselves in my life slash body slash plan, and I don't have much planned for this video, but I want to talk about that um, kind of loosely, kind of abstractly. Um, Basically, where I'm going to start is that the okay, so before I was planning to uh, physically have fourness, meaning like our three-dimensional space-time world that we live in now, um, having fourness, that world bloom into fiveness, the five-dimensional next level, so to speak, that's eternal and without suffering. Um, but I've now I'm on a sort of a different track, and what's going to happen now is it's actually going to be 555 that's going to become fiveness. 555 is what I usually call fairy. It's nominally 5D. Um, Everything can be measured in 5 dimensions up there, but it doesn't actually have a solid core of space-time. So instead of my having this world transition into fully 5 dimensional space-time, instead I'm going to start from up there and basically leave time down here on Earth to be the fork of time that just runs itself out, like, infinitely. That's not ending. And then for my case, when I say 555 or fairy, in my specific case, like, I could just as well say mania in that place. Like, the world as I interact with it while manic is 555, and by becoming so in the transition from 555 to fiveness is, gosh, what was I gonna say? Basically, it's a matter, what I'll be doing is not changing the material world, but changing the my perceptual world in my mania by way of making it not manic anymore. In other words, not delusional. Not the thing with mania, as we know it now, is that it has some component of something like denial or equivocation or denial of duality, of the fact that we live in a fallen world, or a world that is dual, and or error of just being an error, of having some delusion at some level, some belief that's false, because when you're manic, you think that you're experiencing the real elevated truth, but you're actually experiencing that, but only temporarily, because you're denying the truth of duality, the truth that would be grounding you and holding you back from that perfection. But for me, with my mission, what I'm going to be doing is getting rid of the denial part, basically filling in that place where there's something missing, that makes the mania untrue. So basically, it'll be true mania. Like, it'll be everything that I see and know and believe and can do in mania, but there won't be that holdout part, the part that makes it false, the part that makes it erroneous, the part that makes it delusional. Um, so, and that's the part too that will end. So I've known for a while now that like my role in ending time, it's really only ending one interpretation of time. The interpretation wherein time is like one interconnected system beginning to end where causality can propagate in any direction. So, in other words, time in the interpretation of material reality as ether rather than as space time. So, okay, so where was I going with that? Gosh, it's too bad. Oh yeah, okay, so basically, when it comes to that, the way in which I will end time is that there will be a point in my life where after I no longer will have access to mania, where in my see, except like that point could just be before I had mania, before I discovered the pattern. So, but yeah, I guess my whole point is just that there has to be an end to that kind of time. Not because I need to make an end, bring about an end, but because, although I do, it must end, and it's very important for it to end, or the whole thing can't be made true. The whole thing has to be a single unit and not a continually growing or expanding thing. And I know what I have to do to cause it to end like that. And it does require something of me, but but basically, like, there's no reason to think that it will. Insofar as it's only the world of mania that's going to be made truer, there's no reason to think that it'll make a huge splash with just the general public. That is still what I need to do, what I need to bring about with real elbow grease via my work, which will pretty much take place after I'm done with this part, the part of okay, I guess I'll say no, I'm not gonna say that. So I guess it's a little bit of a letdown that I'm not gonna be enacting and witnessing the physical transformation of blooming. But the thing is, I will still be witnessing it because I'll still have myself up there in 555/fairy/mania. So like, I'll still see it happen and get to live in the result of it, even though but it won't be, I guess, shared with the entire world until my work in sharing the pattern as an idea, the original pattern as I knew it originally, it won't be, gosh, I just keep losing track. So, um, okay, I'm just trying to say, there's a letdown in this, um, in light of my ambition. Like, my ambition is I want to be high and mighty and fucking miracle, and like have the whole world recognize and revere me. But more importantly than that, much more importantly than that, I want to share the pattern with the world, with every single person in the world. And I had been thinking that that would happen kind of as like a bolt from the blue, a stroke of lightning of um, the blooming of the earth taking place, and everybody instantly knowing and seeing and participating in it. But I see that that will only affect. It will only be like that for the other people who are already living in 555, who are like already up there, and then I'll have to put in a lot of work to get most of the rest of the people who won't notice the difference and who will have to be affected um, kind of gradually over the course of time via my work, and quite possibly even not just my work in my lifetime, but even my even like the gradual propagation and like I want to say something like hegemonic, like the, you know, as my ideas um, take on their hegemony, um, people will awaken into fiveness, be able to perceive it and live in it. Um, so, I guess this feels more realistic, more grounded. And I think, in a way, it's pretty true that I never was gonna get it the other way. I didn't realize that till, you know, nowish, but like the way that I wanted to do it just wasn't gonna happen. This way is easier, more practical, and less glamorous, more down to earth or realistic, and more about achieving greatness as a result instead of as the end, as the aim, as the goal. So I guess you could say that this is a less egoic vision of what I'm trying to do. So that is all I'm gonna say. Thanks for listening. Good night.